with a flathead screwdriver. I'm going to go ahead and unscrew this drain plug for the radiator. As you unscrew it, just be careful of coolant splashing on you. Now from under the hood, I'm going to take the radiator cap off. This will speed up the draining process a little bit. There we go. This is going to let air go in as the coolant comes out. Now we have to remove this air intake. I'm going to start on one side and just remove all the push clips. Work your way to the other side. This one looks like it has some sort of a screw in the middle that you have to unscrew and pry up. This one's different once again. Pop that out. Now you can remove this piece and just unwedge it from the air box. Set this aside. Let's remove all these wires from the fan shroud. Someone has wire tied these on. I guess the original connectors are no longer good, so I'm going to do the same at the end, but they have to come loose because this has to come up and out. With the help of some needle nose pliers, I'm going to grab this connector and disconnect it from the fan. A lot of times these get stuffed up with sand, so it gets difficult to disconnect it. And let's do the same to this one over here. Perfect. Now this harness can be set aside, and it's out of our way. And this one here, I'm just going to tuck underneath. That way it's out of our way as well. And make sure everything else is disconnected. Nothing is attached to this fan assembly. Next, I'm going to disconnect this overflow hose. Set this aside. Disconnect the upper radiator hose. Just grab the hose clamp with some pliers. Squeeze it, move it out of the way. Now twist the hose and remove it from the radiator. Okay. All right, next I'm going to remove the battery. Someone has put in this extremely long bolt here. So whatever you have, just remove it. Basically, I'm trying to remove this support here. That way I can get this battery unhooked and removed. Okay, remove the hold down. Now with a 10 millimeter, I'm going to remove both of these terminals. I'm going to start with the negative. It's always best to start with the negative and then end with the negative when you reconnect. Okay, loosen this up. Set that aside. Remove the positive as well. Set that aside as well. That's a lot of corrosion. Gonna have to clean that up before it gets reinstalled. And now remove the battery. Now take this plastic piece off. And one last thing to remove is this battery tray here. That'll give us a lot more access to remove the radiator. Before I go any further, I want to unclip these wires from these retainers here. Someone's already been in here and the clips are broken. So for me, the wires are loose, but go ahead and pop them out. And next, I'm going to disconnect this fuse box. If you take a little screwdriver, put it in there and press on this tab and then pull up. That'll unlock it from here. And there's one more on this side. Do the same thing. Press on it, pull it up, and now just gently wiggle it out of place. Set that aside so it's out of your way. Probably just going to bungee cord it so it stays here. At this point, there are supposed to be several 12 millimeter bolts that hold this plate on. For me, there are only 2 left. There was supposed to be one here, and then there were supposed to be 2 more on these 2 corners. They already broke off for someone else, so I'm just going to remove these 2, and then hopefully we can pull this tray right out. Just be careful, these are a lot of times very rusty. That's most likely why the other ones are broken. Now let's remove this tray, get it out of our way. Be very careful because this white stuff here is battery corrosion. You don't want to get it on your skin or in your eyes or anything. Now, back underneath, I'm going to remove this splash shield. This will be the easiest way to get the lower radiator hose off as well as the transmission cooler lines. So remove all of these push clips. I have about half of them on mine that are just completely missing. So whatever you have for push clips, just remove them so that splash shield can be removed. Okay, Looks like one more on this side. Oh, there we go. Last one. All right, remove the splash shield. I'm going to put this plug back in just so that the radiator stops dripping. More coolant will come out when we undo the lower radiator hose, but at least it won't be dripping on me. Make that nice and snug. That way, when you're ready to reinstall, you don't have to worry about it. Now I'm going to disconnect the lower radiator hose, grab some pliers, move the hose clamp out of the way, and then you take the hose and twist it. You can give it a twist with some pliers, just be careful how much you squeeze. You don't want to damage the hose. And now pull it off of the radiator. Be careful when you do this because some coolant might still be in here. This part is actually lower than the drain plug, so yep, here we go. Just set that to the side. Now we have to disconnect these two lines here, this one and this one. They're for the transmission cooler. So grab your pliers, squeeze the hose clamp, move it to the side, break it free. Some transmission fluid might come out, so make sure you have a separate collection bucket. You don't want to mix oil and coolant. Try and wiggle this hose off, almost. There we go. Yep, there's some transmission fluid coming out. Now let's do the same to this one over here. Remove the hose clamp. If your hose clamps are very weak, like these ones are, I'm going to replace them with new ones. You can go ahead and do the same thing. This one is extremely weak, so it won't seal up. You'll get a leak when you're done. Okay, break the hose free. Let's remove it. Okay. Perfect. Let this one drain a little bit too, and then I'm going to tuck it up above here, just like that, so it can stop leaking. Perfect. Let's go back up top. 10mm socket. Let's remove this bolt here. Then there's going to be one on the other side as well. Okay. Now you can grab the fan assembly, slide it straight up. Oops, this connector is hitting here. Perfect. Here are your old fans. So on the bottom of the fans, you'll see these tabs here. There's one on each side. You want to line these up with, these slots here. There's going to be one here and one on that side. If the fan slides in over them and is right here, it's not going to be up against the radiator and the airflow won't be right. So take your new fans, slide them down, make sure it doesn't get caught on anything. Now once you get close to the bottom, just make sure that they fall into their corresponding grooves there. That one did. The way you know is you can grab the bottom, and if it can't pull out that way, then it's locked in where it's supposed to be. That just dropped into place. Let's get the two bolts. Start those on. That's one. And number two. Let's snug them up. Okay, they just screw into plastic, so you don't have to make them very tight. Perfect. All right, let's plug in the two electrical connectors. Oops. Perfect. And number two. All right, and clip in the wiring harness wherever it needs to be clipped in. Right here and right there. Perfect. Now let's reconnect these hoses on the bottom. Make sure it gets pressed on all the way, and like I mentioned, I did replace the hose clamp because mine was very weak and in rusty and poor condition, so I replaced it with one of these worm style clamps. So if yours needs to be replaced, now's the time. Make sure that this is nice and tight. Perfect. Let's reinstall the other hose. And again, press it down all the way. This clamp is still good, so I'm reusing this one. squeeze it, bring it back, and I like to set it right back where it was because most likely it basically formed a groove into the hose, and if you put it back where it was, it's going to seal up the best. One last hose is the lower radiator hose. Go ahead and reconnect that, slide it on all the way. Grab the hose clamp, squeeze it, and let's reposition it to just about where it was before, right there. Perfect. Just going to double check the drain plug here. Sometimes it's a little loose and you want it to be nice and tight so you have no leaks. Let's reinstall this splash shield, line it up, and I had a lot of push clips missing. I'll come back and install all of them, that way it's nice and secure. Perfect. Reconnect the overflow hose, press it on all the way, and put the clamp back where it was. Now reconnect the top radiator hose, slide it on, and put the clamp back where it belongs. Perfect. Let's install the battery tray next and line it up. If you still have all of your bolts, of course, put them all in. I only have 2 left here. Snug them up. Okay, nice and snug. Let's put back the plastic tray. Make sure it sits in properly, and let's get the battery. Okay, battery's installed. I cleaned up the terminals a little bit. Let's start with the positive, press it down all the way, and let's snug it up. That's tight. Let's snug up this negative terminal as well. All right, that's nice and tight. Let's get the battery hold down in place. Slide the hooks over, as well as this top bracket, and hook them into their corresponding holes here. That's one. Second one. You don't have to go very tight on this. Just make it finger tight. This is just here to hold down your battery nice and secure. Don't forget about this fuse box. Line it up, press it down into place. Let's get the air intake duct back on. Try to squeeze it past the radiator under this battery terminal wire and into the air box. Line up all 3 of the push clip holes and press the push clips in. Okay, so I have my coolant funnel here, and this is going to help me with 2 things. One, it'll help self-bleed better because this is now higher than the engine, so all the air is going to want to come out here as opposed to get stuck in the engine. Also, this is going to help me not spill coolant when I fill it. So I'm going to fill it with manufacturer specified coolant. I'm going to fill it to the top. Once it's done, I'll run the vehicle, and you want to run it with the heat on inside the car, and you want to wait for all the air bubbles to come out. Once your cooling fans have come on and you have no more air bubbles, you can shut the car off, let it cool down, and we'll cap it off from there. Now at this point is when I would turn on the car, like I explained before, with the heat on, let it run until the cooling fans come on, make sure it doesn't overheat, and once it has reached full operating temperature, shut it off, plug this up, and I'm going to take it out of here. I'm going to take this off of here, remove my adapter, and what I'm going to do with the rest of this is actually fill the overflow tank. So I'm going to go over here. So I'm going to put the rest into my overflow and make sure that it has at least enough to reach the maximum line. Perfect. This was actually just enough coolant. Cap this off. All right, let's put the cap on, clean up our mess, and take it for a road test.